Dear grade 9 students, hope you have a wonderful day today. So let's have a fresh start for the chapter 2. So here we start chapter 2, Polynomials. First, let me read for you the objectives of this whole chapter. To understand new terms, to know what is zero of a polynomial or root of an equation, to know in details about the identities with power 2 and power 3, remainder theorem, factor theorem. These are the main objectives. Let's see one by one. First thing is 2.1 Introduction. In this lesson, we will learn more about new terms. Few of them you have already learned in small classes. First one is variable. What is a variable? From the word itself, it's clear. Variable, varying. What does it mean by the word varying? The temperature varies from country to country. Vary means changes, which means that we can use some symbols like shapes or some letters. It keeps changing from question to question. If m equal to 3 for one question, m will be equal to half for another question. So that is the meaning of varying or variable. We use letters or symbols, but it keeps changing the values from question to question. So in short, what are variables? Variables are letters or symbols. Symbols, you can use symbols like this or any other symbol we can use that represents a number in a fixed question. Okay, now let's see what's the next term. It is term. The word meaning of term is, it can be a number alone, it can be a letter alone, or it can be numbers and letters multiplied or divided together. Look at this example. M is a letter alone. P is another letter alone. So these are, we can say M is a term, P is a term. -5 is a number, or simply 5 is a number. That's also a term. 3 by 5 is a number. That's also a term. 2m, which means you take a number and a letter. So this is also considered as a term. They are not two terms. This is a term because we can multiply or divide a number and a letter together. So 2m is a term, or 6q is a term. 3 by 11n is also a term. So a term means it can be numbers alone or letters alone, or numbers and letters multiplied or divided together. If we add, they are two different terms. We will come to it. Now, expression. Expression means, we already studied about term, one or more terms added or subtracted. This is called an expression. Look at this one. This is one term, 5k. So this is an expression with one term. This is an expression with two terms. What are the two terms here? 2m is one term and -5 is another term. So these are the two terms in this expression. So this is 2m minus 5 is an expression with two terms. Next, 4n divided by 13 plus 3m plus 2y. So here you have, this is one term because they are multiplied or divided. 3m is another term and 2y is another term. So in this whole expression, how many terms do we have? 3 terms. Term 1, term 2, term 3. Okay. Now let's move on to the last word of this lesson, equation. What is an equation? Equation means it is something very close to expression, but it will have an equal sign. So from the word itself, expression and equation are almost the same. You will have an equal sign. So you have, see, 2m plus 4 is an expression with two terms equal to another expression. The expression means it can have one term or more terms. So this is an equation. The main idea is because you have an equal sign. This is another equation also because you have an equal sign. So k minus 6n is equal to 28 is another equation. Now let's move on to identities. You know, identities means some of the rules that can be applied using a specific rule. For example, x plus y the whole square. You have studied from smaller classes, a plus b the whole square is equal to a square plus 2ab plus b square. Or it's the same thing we are using with xn, another variables x and y. So x plus y the whole square is equal to x square plus 2xy plus y square. Is that okay? Now next identity is x minus y square. Here also, see the same idea. If it is plus, all of them will be plus. But if it is minus, remember only 2xy is minus. First term and the last term are positive. Okay, moving on to the next one. X square minus y square is equal to x plus y times x minus y. How do we understand between these three identities? You know, I'll give you a clue. Look at this one. You have a bracket on the left side, but no bracket on the right side. Again, you have a bracket on the left side, no bracket on the right side. But you look at the third identity, there is no bracket on the left side, but you have a bracket on the right side. And you might have studied already x square minus y square is x plus y into x plus y into x minus y. Okay, so let's move on to more ideas of this lesson, which is from lesson 2.2, polynomials in one variable. So first of all, we need to know what is the meaning of polynomial. In polynomial, there are many terms. The first term is monomial. What is a monomial? You have studied in other small classes what's the meaning of mono. Mono means one. So an expression with one term is called a monomial. So 3y is an expression with one term, so this is a monomial. Or 9 is an expression with one term, this is another monomial. Next one, binomial. What's the meaning of binomial? Bi means there will be two. So binomial is an expression with two terms. So here you see this is an expression 4k plus 2 terms. So this is one expression with two terms, and this is another expression with two terms. So this is one binomial and this is another binomial. This is one monomial and this is another monomial. Okay, next one, trinomial. From the word trinomial, tri means there will be three terms. So trinomial is an expression with three terms. Look at this example. This is one expression which is specifically a trinomial because there are three terms. Okay, in general, we call them polynomial. So polynomial is an expression with one or with more than three. In general, we say it is more than three terms. So this is a polynomial with four terms because there are more than three terms. But you know, there is a special note for you. Polynomial is a general term used even if you have one term. Even if you have one term, we call it as polynomial. This is a general term actually used. So polynomials are in general one or more terms. But specifically, what's the name? If you have one term, it is monomial. If you have two terms, it is binomial. If you have three terms, it is trinomial. And more than three is definitely a polynomial. Now, next one is degree of a polynomial. What's the meaning of the degree of a polynomial? Degree means the highest power of what? The variable or variables in a polynomial. Let's see the example. Look at this one. This is a polynomial with three terms, or specifically, what name is it? Trinomial. Great. Now, what are the variables here? Only x. There is an x here, there is an x here. Look at the power. This is power. The power is 2 here and the power is 1 here. What is the highest power? 2. So the degree of this expression or this polynomial is 2. Here also there is only one variable, the power is 3. So the degree is 3. Now the next one. m power 6, there is a variable m here, again a variable here. So m power 3 times 6, we studied that when you have a bracket with power of the power, we multiply them. So it is not added, it is multiplied. So 3 times 2 is 6. So the highest power is 6. So the degree of this polynomial is 6. Now let's see more about polynomials. Linear polynomial. Linear polynomial means it is a polynomial with degree 1. Means the power of the variable should not, actually it should be 1. Even if you don't write, it is meaningful that the power is 1. It should not be more than 1, or it should not be a negative number or a fraction. Now, what is the meaning of a quadratic polynomial? Quadratic polynomial means a polynomial with degree 2. See this one, the highest power is 2, which means the degree is 2. So this is a quadratic polynomial. We still have one more, cubic polynomial. Cubic polynomial means degree is 3. See this one, the highest power is 3, degree is 3. So this is a cubic polynomial. This linear or quadratic or cubic polynomial can have one or more terms. Doesn't matter how many terms do we have. It only matters what is the degree of the polynomial. And what's the meaning of degree? It's here the highest power of the variable. Let's see more about it. When do we say that a given expression is a polynomial? Is this a polynomial 3x? To look into that one, we have to see what is the power of the variable. Here the power of the variable is 1. So we call this as a polynomial. Here what is the power of the variable? Again it is 1. So also this is a polynomial. Now look at the next example. 4 by 9 with n. Here the power is n, but when you rewrite, we can say that it is 4 by 9 n power negative 1. So when we write it in the standard form, and the power of the variable, if it is not a whole number, this is not a polynomial. Why? Because negative 1 is not a whole number. So how can you define the expression, the word for polynomial or the sentence for polynomial? In a polynomial, all the powers of the variable should be a whole number, which means you can have 0 even, but you can't have a negative number or a decimal number or a fraction. Now look at this example. Is this a polynomial? What is the power of x here? The power of x, or we can rewrite this as x power 1 by 2, because square root means 1 by 2 plus 3. Is 1 by 2 a whole number? No. So this is not a polynomial. Now let's see another example. Root 3 plus x. Is this a polynomial? Yes. You know why? Because the power of the variable, we don't have to look at the power of the number. We just have to look at the power of the variable. Power of the variable is 1. So this is a whole number. It is a polynomial. This is very, very important. When the power of the variable is not a whole number, it is not a polynomial. When the power is a whole number, it is a polynomial. Okay. Now, are the following polynomials? Now, first of all, we have to see how many terms are there. Here, first term, second term, third term. So 3 terms are there. What is the degree? Highest power. The highest power is 4, so the degree is 4. Is it a polynomial? For that, we just have to see the power of the variables. Power is 4, power is 1. Both are whole numbers, so it is yes. Next one. How many terms are there? 1, 2. So 2 terms. And what is the degree? The highest one, which is 9. Is it a polynomial? Yes, because power is 9 here and power is 1. Both are whole numbers. So it is a polynomial. Next one. How many terms are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 terms. Degree is, powers are 11, negative 3, and 1. Highest power is 11, so the degree is 11. But is it a polynomial? No, it is not a polynomial because negative 3 is not a whole number. Is that clear? Moving on to the next one. How many terms are there? 1, 2, 3 terms. What is the degree? Power is 4. Again, power is 4 and power is 12. When you have same power, you can rewrite this equation. So this expression, this is 12x power 4 minus 6x power 12. Even though, what is the degree of this one? So we can rewrite how many terms are there? 2 terms only. So it is not 3 terms, it is 2 terms because they are same power. Okay, now what is the degree? Highest power is 12. Powers are 4 and 12, so the highest power is 12. Is it a polynomial? Yes, it is a polynomial because the powers are 4 and 12, both are whole numbers. Next, how many terms are there? First one, second one, and third one. 3 terms are there. What's the degree? The degree here is 4, degree here is 2. And when you write this in the standard form, it will be x power negative 1. So highest power is 4. Is it a polynomial? No, because negative 1 is not a whole number. Moving on to the last one, negative 23. How many terms are there? Only one. What is the degree? Important question. You can rewrite as x power 0 because x power 0 is 1. So the degree is 0. So you'll understand something from here. If you have only a number without a variable, this is called a constant polynomial, and the degree of constant polynomial is always 0 because we can write it with x power 0. Is it a polynomial? Yes, because 0 is a whole number. Now look at this one. 0 is called when you have only 0. Instead of this negative 23, if you have 0, what do you call? 0 is called a 0 polynomial. Now, what is the degree of a 0 polynomial? Degree of a 0 polynomial is not defined because we can't say is it 0 times x power 4 or 0 times x power 5. It is not defined. Okay, now let's see the term coefficient. What's the meaning of coefficient? Coefficient means it is the number, or sometimes they use it as a constant k or a. A number or a constant multiplied with a variable is called a coefficient. Look at this one. 6m is a term. In this term, 6 is the number. So 6 is called the coefficient and m is the variable. 3x by 5. X is the variable. So 3 by 5 is the coefficient. So coefficient means the number which is multiplied with the variable. In more details, here it is. So 6m is a term, 6 is the coefficient, and m is the variable. Here, what are the coefficients of these given expressions? 2x power 2. So x is the variable, and what is the number multiplied with x? X power 2? 2. So the coefficient is 2. Negative 11p is a term or an expression, or even we can call it as a polynomial. So what is the coefficient? The number which is multiplied with p. It is not 11, it is negative 11. Again, what is the number multiplied with k? It is negative, not simply negative, it is negative 1. Because you can multiply k with 1. Again, here, what is the number multiplied with x? It is negative 3 by 5. Is that clear, the term coefficient? Let's move on to the meaning of one polynomial with one variable or more variables. Look at this polynomial with 3 terms. How many variables do we have here? Only x. So this is a polynomial with one variable because you have only x. Now look at the next example. You have x as a variable, you have y as a variable, you have m as a variable. So this is a polynomial with 3 variables. Next one, you have k, you have m, you have n. So again, this is a polynomial with 3 variables. Let's move to the exercise 2.1. Which of the following expressions are polynomials in one variable? So you have to see which is a polynomial, and which one has only one variable. If you have x and y, we don't count it. So let's see. 4x squared minus 3x plus 7. Is it a polynomial? To know that it's a polynomial, we see the powers of the variable. Power of the variable here is 2, here is 1. If both are whole numbers, it is a polynomial. 2 is a whole number, 1 is a whole number. So the first question is a polynomial. Is it one variable or more variable? It is one variable, because you have only x. Now, next one. Is it a polynomial? We see the power of the variable. You just have only one power. 2 is a whole number. So it is a polynomial. One variable or more? 1. Again, the power of t. The power of t is 1 by 2. So is 1 by 2 a whole number? No. So this is not a polynomial. Of course, this is only one variable, but this is not a polynomial. Now here, we can rewrite it in the standard form. 2y plus 2y power negative 1, because this should be up in the numerator. Variables should be in the numerator in the standard form of writing polynomials. So here the power is 1 and here the power is negative 1 is not a whole number. So this is not a polynomial, but there is only one variable. Next, here, is this a polynomial? You have positive, positive, positive. All are whole numbers. So it is a polynomial, but is it only one variable? No, there are 3 variables. Okay, now let's see what's question 2. Write the coefficient of x squared in the following. Okay, first one, x squared. With x squared, there is no number, which means you can write it as positive 1 or simply 1. So the coefficient of x squared is 1. Next one, the coefficient of x squared, again there is no number, so you can write here, but you have to consider this negative sign. So the coefficient of x squared here is negative 1. Now let's move on to the next one. What is the coefficient of x squared here? X squared is pi by 2. So pi by 2. Do we have x squared in this expression? There is no x squared, so we can say that the coefficient is 0, because we can actually write this as 0x squared plus square root of x. So what is the coefficient of x squared? 0. Question 3 now. Give an example of a binomial of degree 35. Any example with degree 35. So we can use, first of all, you can use any variable with power 35. You can write any number as you wish with it. Finish. That's it. You can even have, if you wish to have, you can have more numbers here. So 7x power 35 minus 11x squared. This is a binomial because you have only 2 terms and the highest power is 35, so the degree is 35. Now, next one is to write a monomial, means only one term. Only one term, so let me use another variable y with power 100. And what number can you add with this? Any number you wish, no problem, because they are not talking about coefficient. Only talk about the degree, which is 100. Is that clear? Okay, let's move on to question 4. Write the degree of the following. Very simple question. Degree means the highest power. The powers here are 3, 2, 1. So the highest is 3. So the degree is 3. Next one. Here there is only one degree, one power, which is 2. So the degree is 2. Here also there is only one power. So the degree is 1. There is no variable here. So you can add any variable, let's say y, and the power will be 0. So the degree is 0. And we studied that the degree of a constant polynomial is 0. Classify as linear, quadratic, and cubic polynomial. Revise, what is linear? Linear means degree 1. This degree 2. And cubic means degree 3. Here, what is the highest power? Highest power is 2. So degree is 2. So this is a quadratic equation. Next one, highest power is 3. So this is a cubic equation. Highest power is 2. So again, this is a quadratic equation. Highest power is, or there is only one power, so this is a linear equation. There is only one power, so it is also linear equation. Power is 2, so this is quadratic equation. And power is 3, so this is cubic equation. That's all for this lesson. Now it's your homework time. Write two binomials. Binomial means there should only be two terms with degree 1. So first of all, you should have two terms. And then remember, the power should be 1, or you don't have to write the power. Next question is, write two polynomials of degree 9. So you can use any number of terms, maybe 3 terms, 4 terms. It is not specified, but it should have, the highest power should be 9. Write two expressions with variable x that are not polynomials. So you can use x power half or any power which is not a whole number. It will be an expression which is not a polynomial. That's all for today. Keep practicing. So see you soon in the next period. Bye for now.